Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NA Week 2 of the Blitzkrieg Battles, and we've got an amazing tournament for you today. I am Kyson, joined here today with Penzel. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Kai. It's been quite a day for me here. I'm really excited to see these North American teams going at it today. And right now, we're going with Chicken Dinner versus Temptation. Both have great names. I have to point that out. I love that, Chicken Dinner. But right now, ninth round, it is over. We are off towards the races here, ladies and gentlemen. Kicking it off with Sheepy here on my screen, going for that offensive side. Might be a B push at the moment here, Kai. What do you think about this situation? Going for B. No, only two smokes. Two smokes on both teams.
Because they bought a Thompson in the first round, something which you don't normally see in EU. Be interesting to see what he does with it. If he can actually get anything done. Actually gets the first frag. That is important for him to get that first frag in this round, and it seems that the rest of his team's doing the work. B site is finally killed, just one player to deal with, and that's going to be Davis, and he's going to have a full order for him.
That's exactly correct, but right now, Temptation will be the first, will get that first win, and luckily barely saved that Thompson, and I have to agree with you, quite unusual. Very curious about that strategy. Usually you see a trench gun coming into action. Yeah. The majority of the time, since obviously there's been the trench gun meta. It's so powerful lately, and but you do whatever works for you. Absolutely. Now, right now, 4-man have bars. Aver is still with the Thompson, and it's going to be you can see a bummer will be pushing towards middle.
Really, the person which just has to do a lot of work is Davis with the shots on close range. He's able to get the tag on the first player, even tagged him twice not to gain the frag, and that's going to be too order, especially since his position is known. And now they're going to finally push, and Bang can take him out easily. It is interesting with that first round that Avia with the Thompson, very risky going for a play like that, spending 3 tokens just on one player, but they must have for him. And he's doing a pretty good job in this round, getting 2 frags already.
Right now, I'm taking a look at Kicknet trying to secure the middle. However, the bomb is planted. Aver already on that corner box with the trench gun and the Thompson. Keep in mind, both players have Thompson. Meanwhile, you got Kicknet with the Goer and Press with the bar. As the clock is ticking, Kicknet gets a first headshot on Aver. 2v1 down here, Kai. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Going for that defuse. Blacko pushing in with the trench gun, but misses obviously out of the range. Blacko gets headshotted by Prez, and right now it's going to be all tied up 1-1. So again, very interesting retake. Again, very solid. Both teams, have had strong starts so far. Now we're just gonna have to see what both teams have to show, and you can clearly see now Chicken Dinner stacking with those STGs and a sniper. Now you got a scope going in. Meanwhile, Temptation no scope yet, so this is rather going to be interesting.
Yeah, that previous round I would say went down to Temptation actually messing up a little bit. You saw Ava alone in the corner box, no help from Blanket at all, and they're not covering each other. So the fact that Chicken Dinner was able to just go in, get those 1 versus 2 duels, too easy for them really. And the start of this round, a little bit too easy, as Bummer and Fix both falling, and Tata even getting a third one onto Blacko. Ava down, just leaving Shippy. Is it all to do 1 versus 4? He has to clutch it to ace it. Will he be able to? And I would say chances are not in his favor.
Absolutely not. But either way, as well, look at the economy from Chicken Dinner. Solid right now. Kind of equal heavily, but Temptation has a lot to work with at the moment. 1-2 now. So we got a M1 Garan on play. Meanwhile, 2 Thompsons going in. So Chicken Dinner played that really perfectly. Talk about cruise control there, as they did not lose barely anything. So they're pretty much stacked at the moment.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Press is able to get out a scope. On the other side, no scopes. The most damage a weapon can do is on Shippy, 2-shot to kill, and Press is actually getting that first frag. Drops a bomb even. Might even spotted it just before the smoke balloons. But the question is, will he be able to get any more frags from this position? And I have an idea that it's towards A. It seems like the
Oh, it's just not
last player is stuck in A barn. He even get one frag. He even gets a second. This is too much, and it's actually a team kill. Davis, a little bit too trigger happy.
But when you talk about press, so the damage was already made, as you can clearly see. Got a few frags here and there, and everything started to crumble down. And Chicken Dinner so far with the lead, looking really solid. Press playing really good. Now he has a bar and a scope to work with. Meanwhile, again, now Temptation is starting to fall a bit. Just not enough eco to. So I'm really liking the defensive plays by Chicken Dinner here. Very, very solid defense. And you know how these defense rounds are very, very important. So obviously you know how some maps can be heavily defensive sided. So right now, you. Yeah, I'm trying to be nice, but yeah, I have to agree with you there. But Bomber trying to go after trenches, challenges the barn and actually gets the kill on Kicknit. Meanwhile, Press and Davis are the last two members alive from Chicken Dinner. So on paper, this looks like it's going to go towards Temptation here as they are on cruise control. Nobody has died now. Davis barely making it there, Kai.
Press a little bit unlucky there of timing. Peaks fences and turned away just as I think it was Blanco pushed. Now Davis falls to the hands of Blanco again. 3 kills on him. Good round, and that'll be the second round for Temptation. And they've reset Chicken Dinner quite a bit, but they still be able to get buys, maybe some SCGs. But I think utility is what they need to start doing. They're giving too much space for Temptation right now. Temptation can just walk anywhere they want, getting 1 versus 1 duels, and able to get the frags. And I have to say, their defense looks pretty weak, Chicken Dinner, and Temptation could find some holes like they did in that round.
All right, right now rocking 2 trenches, so obviously they have to check those corners out. So you can clearly see Davis will be pushing this with the trench gun aggressively here. Doesn't see anybody, but kicked it with a headshot on Iver. So damage could be done. Picks up the scope. Now, I want to talk to you about what you said. Remember, we were watching the European tournament about that golden number. You know, defensive rounds are so important here. You cannot afford to lose these defensive rounds. They are so game changer when it comes to winning these maps at the moment. But right now, 1 minute remaining, Kai. Only one player down. That was Aver. Vic's trying to hold it together. Approximately 50 HP. Kicking it again. So dangerous with that STG 44 guy. Solid.
Yeah, Davis only able to get one with the shotgun and Mano. The fact that he was able to push up 2 men and Temptation is going to slow them down, and kicking it again with another frag onto Blanco, just leaving Shippy in a 1 versus 3. He's looking for his 4th kicking it, and he started the round fantastically. He was in the middle trench, getting a nice headshot onto the guy top Mano. Just looking at Temptation that round, they looked lost on their attack. Very different compared to what we saw in the finals in EU last week with Entropy sadly have split against.
I read that. Yep, I read that on Twitter. Very unfortunate, you know. When you talk about a team like Entropy, and I don't know if you remember, but the matches were really close. They were down, and then they came back on OT, I believe it was. And it's such a shame to see them go out like that. Honestly, due to I believe it was one of the players on Twitter said, because there was a big toxic environment within the team, but obviously that is their business. But unfortunate to see, but that is then, and this is now. And Tater takes a shot on Aver. Aver seems to be having a tough time on this map. Davis gets a shot on Bomber there. So right now, 2 men are down. Chicken Dinner cruise control again. Perfectly, nobody has that.
Shotgun's so strong, like you can see Tater able to get a nice double kill with him. In fact, I did an interview today about the shotguns. Hopefully that will be ready soon. But
it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting, Kai. When you talk about the shotgun, if there's ever a nerf or some changes happening with the trench gun, definitely it's gonna be changing the complexity of the competition. I mean, when you use that trench gun, you can break and make so much sense.
Like, we should have focused on Blanco there. He got 2 frags and he did fall before he could even get any more, but did a good fight of it. But he really should have just ran away and just tried and save that gun with that time left. But yeah, back with the shotguns, I totally agree that shotguns at the moment a little bit too strong. I would say that's my words. And I'm actually looking forward to reading this article, which will be released on my B44, since they're gonna interview other players, not just me. So look for that. I hope that it does get patched, because it is a little bit too strong at the moment. Like normal ranges, it's just so versatile. DK here, switching to the shotgun, unable to get that frag though. Onto Bummer, who does get the frag back, making it an advantage still for Chicken Dinner. And Chicken Dinner looking quite comfortable, I would say.
I have to agree with you there. Very nice trade-off there. So many both teams refragging it, but Aver gets finally gets some revenge as Shady gets taken down. Davis, meanwhile, picking up Vix there, but Chicken Dinner with the advantage, 3 men up, 2 men up on Temptation. Bomber with that wallbang there on Davis. Davis gets shot down and automatically becomes a 2v2. Remember, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's only 50 on the clock. Bomber getting those frags, very huge frags, I might add here, Kai, with 40 remaining on the clock currently. So this is looking really good. Bomber being the hero of the team on this round specifically. But right now, the time is running out.
Kicknet was spotted as he trying to cross to Mana by Ava, so they know his position roughly. They know he's towards Mana. They're planning A, and then at this point, you have to control A. You know, two possible ways he's going to come from: A barn or A long. There's the fastest routes he can take. So you saw actually Ava covering A long as his teammate planted. Now they just have to focus towards that A barn, get control of that, and then they can just leave site open, because then Kicknet doesn't know where they're going to defuse from. That is a nice one.
That is a very well placed smoke. I do agree with you. Now approaching towards the bomb, he sees him on the hate. Oh my goodness, Bomber again going huge for the team, making it 3-5 at the moment. You gotta give credit, Kai. We gotta talk about Bomber here. That was about 4 kills, I believe it was 3-4 kills almost. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised, but either way, Bomber going big as Kicknet also went big on the previous round as well. Bomber trying to make it even through 2 more rounds just to talk. Now I want to talk to you. I gotta ask you something, if you don't mind, Kai, because obviously you've seen North American players more than I have, and also European players. I would like to ask you, what do you think is the difference, like their play style? You know that in every game, every region has a different playstyle. It always happens. Rainbow Six, League of Legends, all these games, they always have different playstyle. What do you think is the North American playstyle compared to Europeans?
I feel like individualism. That's what I mostly saw last time I watched. You always see the individual players stuffing around. Like you see more multi-frags coming from individual players in NA compared to EU, and less team aces as well. So I just talk about teamwork mostly is the main difference.
I have to agree with you. I mean, clearly we saw how Bummer was pretty much dismantled Chicken Dinner individually on the last round. But going back to what matters here, 4-5, Kai, we have one more round. It's going to be the 10th round. And Bummer again playing really, really solid. Chicken Dinner trying to hold as much as they can. And we're closing in, switching the sides here, ladies and gentlemen. A few more rounds away, and the tables will be turning. And right now, take a look at Tater with the scope. No scopes on Temptation, though. Sheepy, if anything, with the M1 Garand. And they are doing a 4-man Thompson push here. Press stopping the rush here. Aver gets taken down by Press himself. Kicknet trying to watch that Manorhouse entrance. Blanco and Viggs already damaged, done here. 2 players down. That is Press and Dave. Kicknet trying to control that Manorhouse here. Here's the Sound, gets the shot on Vix and takes advantage of that. Sound, Tater, and McGrady. Now Bomber, it's all up to Morberg. Tater misses the shot, and he gets out, almost gets outgunned. Tater has to back out with that. And this is gonna be very tough for Bomber.
Yeah, well, Bummer just fell from the hands of Shady, and that was a good round from Chicken Dinner. Just getting that map control. They went for that mana control. The allies got confused where the player was and seemed to get more than one frag in that position, and they just took control of the areas. So like they got big barn control, they had mid control, they had mana control, and they had a long control. So when it came down to the last few players, they knew where they would be, and it's just getting that map control, which a lot of players misunderstand in this game. A lot of players like to stay on site. Ooh, Tater, the only frag with the bummer. It's quick.
That was quick indeed. But Shippy right now, middle trying to take some sort of control, but Kicknit takes advantage of Vix. And right now, Shippy almost dead. Has to be careful. Tater still trying to watch if they cross to B, but there's a smoke there, so Tater will be forced to back out. And as you can clearly see, this hero of the team, if anything, Bomber is down for the count right behind Vix. And Davis, again, playing patiently, watching that be kicking it. Meanwhile, doing the dirty work, taking down Blanco here. Aver takes on Shady McGrady there. So right now, Shippy finally gets the best of Tater. So that means the scope for Chicken Dinner is down. And Aver and Shippy are the last two players with just one scope.
This position's so good. He's able to get Shippy down. He's still got bomb control, and they know he has to go to mana. So all I need to see from his teammates is just start rotating and start getting mana control slowly. And at this point, Press should hear his footsteps in mana. You can see the rotations already from his team. Oh, that's actually allowed Press to fall. It's a little bit too slow on the rotations, I would say, from his teammates. This is actually gave Ava an opening to try actually do something this round, but time is ticking. 10 seconds left, and the round's over.
Not enough time there. He took a little bit of time there, but if anything, right now, the best thing you can do is just save yourself from dying. You have a grenade smoke. You're pretty much set up. But Kignate there denies the save, and now pretty much they lost everything at that point. You had a bar, you had a grenade, you had smoke. I mean, you were pretty well set up there, and now with just 5 tokens and not enough to go around, 4 to 7, Chicken Dinner looking strong here. Almost close to switching sides here, guys. So now, like you said, and I took that, I kept thinking about that golden number. So hopefully now when the sides switch in a bit, hopefully Temptation can bring it back. They're not too far though. It's just 4 to 7, depending on this round. Obviously, 4 to 7. They can still bounce back. Definitely can bounce back. Now that they're going to be going towards defense, but Press. Oh my god. Press just shutting down Tater with another one, and Press and Davis just all snipers.
5 scope kills in that round. All just dominate. Too bad it's the last round to see more of that action, but it's great they're able to get that 8th round in, because that was important. Because like I always say on defense, if you get 4 rounds as allies, that's when you're going to have some concerns, because that is a winnable game for Temptation. They've done enough to win it. Now it's about them winning this first round coming into it. So if they win this first round, that's 5. Normally, if you win the first round, you can get 2 more a lot easier due to the economy. So that'll be 7, 8. They already would catch up if they win this round.
Yeah. That is absolutely correct. Vix almost one shot there on that Barnhouse. Press committing towards the bomb. Smoke is up. Kidney takes down Vix. So right now, Vix is taken down in a very uncomfortable position there. They have control. Blanco picks up Kidney there. Sees somebody on farm. Gets a few hit markers going. I believe one of them was a friendly fire. Bomber takes down Davis, but Press trading there nicely. Now it's all about Aver. Can he work his magic? However, an uncomfortable situation with that trench gun and the range that they have, this could be very bad for Temptation. The bomb is already planted. 40 seconds remaining on the clock. And Kai, again, Ivor has a lot to work with here. Jumps in and misses the shot, and Tater punishes him for it. Unbelievable.
I can't turn my mic up.
Wow, Kaiser. What do you think about that? Sheesh.
It was impressive, to be honest. Just gonna turn my mic up quickly.
But you have to agree, though. Aver was in a tough spot. Aver was in a tough spot there. I mean, you coming from the back, A long, trying to go for those.
You need to get
that push, but Oh yeah, and then on top of that, you had a trench gun. Meanwhile, they had medium range guns there. So definitely a tough situation for Aver. Unfortunate. Now it's 4-9, approaching in towards the end. Tater approaching towards the site. Kick it. Gets that double kill there with Aver.
How did he get a second kill? I do not know.
I don't know.
And Price following up, taking down Shippy and making it a 2 versus 4. Can they get any more? Ava able to take down Taylor, making it slightly even, but Davis still causing more damage, just leaving Fix. He does manage to get a flank, and that was an important kill, because now the last two remaining allies are off-site.
This is going to be interesting here. You can clearly see Vix trying to do the best press as well. Shady almost. Vix going, he has to go either for the fake. Oh my god, we saw this before. Pros don't fake, ladies and gentlemen, but press just in the nick of time takes down Vix. So we saw some ninja diffuses on the last tournament. I don't know if you remember on EU. So that was so fun to watch. But I mean, when you take a look at Chicken Dinner here for a second, Kai, this is
Yes.
a solid start for a map here by Chicken Dinner. 10-4. I mean, you just need 3 more rounds away, and you're close to ending it here. Now, Prez leading the charge, throwing smoke and the grenade here.
Yeah, and this is an important round for Temptation. If they don't win this round, it's just going to cause more problems. And Kicknip, not the play to make. Very risky going, 1 versus 3. Prez leading the charge. Bumper, he's going to get spotted. And he will fall, and A side's getting secured as we speak. 2 versus 5. I said they needed this round, and they just run it away, but Stage was giving them a chance. A massive chance. Now it's just 1-man advantage. 2-man advantage, and Blanco will fall 11-4. 2 rounds away. Round win and securing the spot into the next round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want to talk about for the score for a second. I mean, take a look at Kicknade and Press.
Yeah.
That being the duo of the squad here, they're everywhere. Every time you see them on the screen, they're literally everywhere. They're taking the frags, they're getting those frags that they need to. Meanwhile, Air and Blanco are trying to do the best they can. Shippy, Vix not having the best game at the moment. No. And no scopes, no anything. 5-man bar play here. So they're going for those long range and very confident, I might add. Tater pushing in, trying to get a hold of B, and it looks like they have control of B easily here, Kai.
Oh, they do have B side control. The question is, can they keep it? Because the retake situation is, and Blanco's in a good position to try and do something. He gets the first frag. Does tag up Tater, but he's also tagged up. Taking a secure position, but no, it's 2 versus 3. Yeah, 2 versus 1. Taylor, he has everything to do here. He's got the first frag. Question is, can he get any more? He does jump out, trying to get him, but Ava with quick recovery. 11-5. Some signs of life from Temptation right now.
Bomb defused.
I did enjoy that one. I mean, playing really nicely, very nice teamwork by Temptation, back into player out and securing a round. Now, another question is, can they actually go ahead and maintain that that composure and continue to work together? You only need a couple of rounds here and there. Chicken Dinner needs to, we've seen it before, obviously, comebacks do happen. You just got to play it really, really good. You're on defense. You got to use those defensive rounds to your advantage. You have to do whatever it takes to secure an Aver pushing in towards middle. He has the info, though. He knows they're crossing in. Question is, could it be a fake up to this smoke? And it looks like it is not. Again, Chicken Dinner Kai, all this aggressive play.
Yeah. And they are getting B-side control, and they're playing retake Temptation. This is very risky, because this just allows Chicken Dinner to try and get more plants, and Taylor able to get one, but Blanco and Bummer doing it all right now, making it a 4 versus 2. Tater's stuck on his side. He needs to wait for his teammate Prez, trying to do it all. He gets the first frag onto Shippy. He needs to make sure he gets Ava. He does have his teammate, but he gets the information, and that allowed Tater to get that frag. Now 2 versus 2. Press does squat 1 player, and Blanco, he dies on site, just leaving Fix. And 1 versus 2 position is known, and right now if you're Press and Tater, you just need to play together. You know where he was last spotted, at fences, and now you can just play crossfire angles to make sure that as soon as one of your players get into contact, being able to get Tate's position is not that, but he
Ooh.
does manage to recover and get the frag. Match point for Chicken Dinner.
This is looking solid for Chicken Dinner, answering the call to every round possible. And I'll talk about, that bar, every time I see somebody using the bar, it looks like a laser beam. It's so accurate when you hit firing. It's so dangerous up close and personal. Being a rifle, of course, but either way, you can clearly see they're taking advantage of that. 4 bars. You got 2 MP40s, 2 STGs, so economy not on Temptation's favor. I mean, we'll keep kicking it with an entry grenade there. Davis obviously picks up Vix. Aber gets taken down. I mean, at this point, Kai, you have to call it like this. It's going to be a GG in a few seconds.
It should be, unless some miracle happens from Blanco. 1 versus 5. Yeah, it's pretty much over. They just need to make sure the site's controlled. They don't even need a hunt. They can just relax. Make sure they hold the angles. Don't make them have 1 versus 1s, which Prez covering his teammate very, very greatly. And we have Chicken Dinner going into the next round. Quite a one-sided game at the start. Was a little bit iffy, I would say. 8-4. It is a half which you could win if you switch to Axes, but Temptation was just not able to get it on.